Greetings, everybody. There are two things that the Spirit asks of me is obedience and thanksgiving, and that's what I'm doing in this video. Now, I only have 7 minutes to work with, and I've been trying to delete videos, and it's still not changing, so I've got to do this fast. But I was in my bed, and the Spirit woke me and said it's time to testify. And testimony is very good, not just for your upliftment, but for other people as well. And so someone needed this message this morning. I just want to talk about faith. I want to talk about prayer. And I want to talk about the spirits to remind you that the spirits are real and they exist around you. And the difference with you suffering in pain and agony is just reaching out and asking for divine intervention, divine help, comfort, strength, etc. Now, recently I was at an event and I was by myself in what I consider to be a sacred space. And there were some things on my mind, and I really spoke to my Yah about it and asked for help. So when you pray, you want answers, and you're not just going to pray and just say, well, divine help is going to come or your God is going to answer you. You have to put your request out there, and you have to speak to your who you perceive to be your God or your spirit guides. And for me, I don't just speak. I ask questions, and if I ask questions, then I expect answers. And so that particular day, I asked some questions. I needed some answers, and I needed the answers right away. And so I said, if you're saying yes to this thing that I'm requesting, then I need this response. And if you're saying no, because you have to be open to yes, no, or wait. And so that day, I went to an event and they had a raffle, and I couldn't wait until it was time for the raffle because it would have been at the end of the event and I had to be somewhere else. And so I gave my ticket to someone, and I jokingly said to her, I can't wait for it. So, here, you can have it. But if you win, half of it is mine. Not expecting to win anything, not remembering that minutes before that, I asked the Spirit to answer me a particular way. Anyway, I left and I was somewhere else when I ran into the lady that I gave the ticket. Just had her little pleasantries, and she went away her business. And then she came back to me and she handed this to me. She handed this. And now, as simple as this is to some people, this is phenomenal for me because I heard from my spirit guide that very same day. And she said to me, now she's speaking in her own language based on her own belief system. And she came back to me and she said, Jesus told me to give this to you. And if I don't give this to you, I'm going to be punished. And I said, well, why would your Jesus tell you that? And she says, you remember that ticket you gave me earlier? She said, you won. You won. I said, get out of here. I could see that she didn't want to give it to me. So I said to her, it's okay. The fact that you came back and you told the truth. See, she ran into me earlier and she didn't tell me. And then when she left, she said her conscience was bothering her and that the Spirit said, you have to go back. You have to go back and tell her. And so I said to her, you can have it, because I heard from my spirit guide. And so that's good enough. That same afternoon, I was passing another booth and the person said, oh, do you want to sign up? You could win whatever. And I was like, what the heck? What do I have to lose? I signed up. It was a chiropractor clinic. Am I saying that right? Um, they do like massage, acupuncture, stuff like that. So I signed up, and days later, I got a call saying, oh, you won. So I won a session, a free session at a clinic, and I really needed some therapy for my foot because I'm having issues with my foot. And they called and they said, you won. Now I said to her, to the lady that called. I said, what, did I win the everybody win contest? And she said, she laughed. So when I went for the session just to test it, it really was very real. They were not trying to sell me anything, because after I had my session, they didn't ask me to book. They didn't ask me to, buy anything. They just say, this was your gift. And they said, in fact, you're the only person that won. So that same day, after I prayed, Spirit answered me immediately. And not only did the Spirit touch me, I want to say he is just habits. Not only did the Spirit touch me, but it touched that woman to the point where she said, I couldn't leave without giving this to you, because it's my Jesus, she said, if I don't give this to you, I'm going to be punished. And I know she heard. I know the Spirit spoke to her, because that's exactly how it whispers to you. It troubles your conscience. It moves you. And so every so often, when I need my answers and I get into prayer, sometimes I have to wait. But in this case, I didn't have to wait very long. And so every time I remember this, I remember that I have to be faithful. I remember that I have to be patient. And I remember I have to be obedient. And so whosoever needed this message, I am not sure right now why the Spirit pulls me out of my bed and say, now, go share that story now and tell somebody that what you're praying about, what you've asked, this answer is yes. And for some of you, it might be wait. Okay? And just before I leave here, the Spirit is also saying to somebody, you don't have to always be with a man. You don't have to exchange one man for the other. It's okay to be alone. The spirits are real. They're around us, and the faster you know, the better it is. And you don't need someone else to intercept on your behalf. You don't need that. You don't need another human being to go in front of God to vouch for you or to pray for you. You can do it for yourself, and answers will come. Stay blessed, everyone.